Hey guys, what's up and welcome to the review video and unboxing of the Alldocube iPlay 60 Pro 11-inch tablet, and this only cost $159. Check it out. Alright, so I've powered on the tablet and I've spent some time with it so I can give you my thoughts right now. First, we are going to start with the screen. The screen here is an 11-inch display capable of up to 90 Hz, as well as a resolution of 1920 by 1200, which is not the highest resolution, I will admit. However, it is definitely passable for an 11-inch device. So I don't have too many complaints about that. Alright, I'm gonna play this video for you to watch, and this is the video that I show to showcase every tablet. And as you can see, the video is it's a little hard to get the reflections out just because the screen is so large at 11 inches. That being said, the quality of the display is decent. It's an IPS display. The touch sensitivity is decent. It goes up to 450 nits of brightness, and it has a 90 Hz display. So this will come in quite handy for gaming, but that's something that we'll talk about because we'll have to talk about the capabilities of the chip as well. So with regards to the quality of the display, I'm fairly satisfied with it. Maximum brightness at 450 is, I'll say, better than most other cheap tablets, especially considering this costs only $160. And I'm just going to show you what minimum brightness looks like here. And I gotta say, the minimum brightness on this tablet is not good because you can clearly see it under two studio lights, one on this side and one on that side. So I'm going to turn the screen brightness back up so we can take a look again at the screen. Otherwise, the minimum brightness is probably the worst part of this tablet. 450 is bright enough for indoor use, not for outdoors, and the touch sensitivity is decent as well, with a 90 Hz display, which will be good for gaming, but that's if it can hit 90 Hz. So the next thing I want to showcase to you is the audio quality. This does have stereo speakers, which is quite good. I do like the sound of the speakers. It actually has 4 speakers, not 2. It's got 2 on both sides. And even if you turn off the audio amplification from MediaTek devices, it still gets plenty loud. It doesn't get too distorted. And there's even a little bit of bass, which is quite impressive. So I'm going to play the Crab Rave, and why don't you tell me how it sounds. Alright, so with regards to audio quality, I am fairly satisfied with it because the audio here is decent enough for you to use this as a media consumption tablet. I've used it on multiple occasions for that, so I'm quite satisfied with the audio quality of the tablet. The next thing I want to talk about is the battery life. This thing has a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, as well as the capability for 18-watt fast charging. With regards to the battery life, I was able to get approximately 7 to 8 hours of use out of this tablet. Because it's only a 7,000 instead of an 8,000 or even a 10,000 milliamp hour battery, you don't get that 8 to 10 hours of use out of this tablet. So I wish that they put a little bit of a bigger battery in here, but I understand they needed to cut costs. The thing that really pleased me about this is the standby battery on this tablet. The standby battery is absolutely amazing. So this right here is I want to say approximately 3 to 4 days of just pure standby. I didn't touch the tablet. I think I touched it maybe once. So it drops at about 1/3% every single hour. So very, very pleased with the standby on this. Obviously, if you put like a SIM card, it's going to get worse, but otherwise the battery is decent on this tablet. The other thing as well is that this thing is capable of 18-watt fast charging. So there's that also. Alright, let's talk about the specifications. This comes with Android 14 with a MediaTek G99 chip. It's got 6 GB of RAM as well as 128 GB of UFS storage. So for a cheap tablet, the specs on this are pretty decent. As you can see, the UI is quite smooth to scroll. I'm just gonna start opening some stuff to show you. So as you can see, that's actually almost instant there. I'm gonna open up some Netflix. So again, instant. We're gonna open up CPC Gem, another video app. Basically instant there. And I'm just gonna move this back like that. And then if we open up something else, like say photos, instant. And if we open up TikTok, I'm just gonna turn the volume down because it's gonna be loud.
Hello. Goodbye. Anyways, if you...
So overall, a decent speed. The G99, even though it's a mid-range chip, pushing a fairly low resolution of 1920 by 1200, it does a pretty good job with regards to launching the apps. But let's move on to gaming because that's probably the most important thing that most people are looking for. Before I move on, this thing does have Widevine level, I want to say level 1. That's the highest, I believe. And it allows you to watch Netflix and Disney Plus and all that good stuff at HD. All right, so as you can see here, I'm playing Call of Duty, and we're gonna take a look at how well this plays. So right now it plays fairly well. So I am fairly satisfied with it. That being said, it's also only a bot match, and it's there's only about, I think it's 5-on-5, so it's not crazy, and it's not super intense. And the map here looks fairly small as well. So we're gonna continue playing a little bit and see how well it holds up. And where are the bad guys? But otherwise, it's very, very smooth. In fact, it's funny. This thing has a higher frame rate than my actual gaming computer, which is funny. Oh, I died. But anyways, yeah. So it runs fairly well. I am quite happy with the performance of Call of Duty on this device, and you can see the graphics quality here is set to medium. All right, and here you can see me playing Genshin Impact. This is on low settings, and you can see the frame rate is not super good. It's fine when you're not in combat, but then once you actually start doing combat and you start, throwing things where there's an explosion, you can see that the frame rate really dips. And right now I'm going to be walking into the city, which is going to have a lot more people in it, and then we're just going to take a look. The frame rate drops at all. You can see it dropped a tiny bit as I walked into the city, and we're just gonna keep going and see how good the frame rate is here, especially in the center. And the frame rate is it keeps hitching. That's the problem. So the frame rate keeps hitching, it keeps stuttering. So Genshin is an older game now, but it is still fairly graphically intense, and the G99, Helio G99, is a mid-range device, so you're not going to be able to get the best frame rate on this. But as you can see, it's still playable, so if you do want to play video games on this device, you absolutely can. Finally, we're going to talk about the connectivity here. So first of all, this does have a SIM card slot. It doesn't have too many network bands. As you can see, it has GSM 2358, WCDMA 1258, which is not super common anymore. This is for HSPA, and then for 2G. And then for LTE, we've got a couple of bands here, and still not too many. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 18, 19, 20, 26, 28, and 28A and B. And then we've got TDD LTE for 38, 40, and 41. So you definitely have to check that this works on your carrier. I did stick my Bell SIM card in, and it does work. It does have Bluetooth 5.2 as well as Wi-Fi all the way up to Wi-Fi AC, 5 gigahertz as well. And it also has GPS, supports all of the major GPS positioning systems there also. I'm going to skip talking about the camera because the camera is just horrible, just like all the other cameras on big tablets. But I will say that this is a pretty decent tablet for $160. You get a very, very good experience. You get a Helio G99, 6 gigabytes of RAM, a smooth experience. You can play games, not on highest settings, but on medium settings. The 90 Hz is very nice and smooth to use as well. and it comes with Android 14. So overall, quite like the tablet. I do kind of wish that there was some sort of keyboard that you could use for this, because 11 inches is very big for a tablet. But anyway, lots of good things to say about this tablet, not many bad things to say. Check it in the link down in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.